What's up, everyone? It's your girl Treasurelove, and welcome back to my channel.
Let me tap that dog.
Can you guys believe it has been 6 months since I moved into my apartment, and it's coming along so great. And I did receive a few DMs about this, so I thought it would be cool to just make an entire video instead of just responding to people individually. You never know who this video may help. I know I was looking for videos like this when I was moving out, so it's like, you know, let's give back. And also, there's not a lot of new content regarding apartments, maybe because the rent is so high right now. A lot of people are scaling back on moving out, but for those of you that's still looking, let me give you some up-to-date, some 2025 tips and guidance on how to move out to get into your first apartment. That's a sign to stay your ass home. Before we get into today's video, of course, make sure you guys follow me on all my social medias. Everything will be listed down below. And then make sure you guys check out other videos of mine. I'll have a playlist somewhere on the screen up there. You guys know, just click somewhere, something's gonna pop up now, and you guys are, you know, make sure you guys click it, save it to your playlist for later to watch after this video. You know, add it to your queue so you can watch the rest of my videos as well. I'm trying to build up my watch hours. That's super important when it comes to being monetized, is watch hours. So I would really appreciate all the love and support. Alright, I did make a list, and of course I wrote with my favorite orange pen because I think orange is like my new color. I don't know. Alright, so this video is all about how to get your first apartment. This is everything like prior to moving, all those things. Just because I know I spent literally years looking for my first apartment, saving. I just went through a lot to get here, so I do feel like I have a little bit of knowledge to help you guys out. First and foremost, everyone always talks about this, and that's saving your money. I've been seeing a trend on TikTok that's like, oh, you don't need to save, take your next check and move. Yeah, if you're in a domestic violence situation, if you're in a toxic household, if you just literally mentally cannot take it no more, yeah, go ahead and do that. But if you're fine and you're given a little grace before you have to move out, then definitely save. I would recommend saving anywhere from 5 to 10K based on you and your needs and what you're looking for when you move out. 5 to 10K is enough. Actually you're going to run through 5 to 10K within like the first 2 months of living there, not including rent, like just with purchasing furniture, buying necessities, wants, all that kind of stuff, gas, food. A lot of money is going to be spent within the first like 30 to 60 days of living in your apartment. So you want to make sure you have that money already saved up, so the money that you're actively getting, like your checks and stuff like that, can go towards your bills and rent and all that kind of stuff. Things you want to take into consideration when budgeting is like, you know, can you afford the monthly rent? So prior to even starting looking up apartments, you want to make sure you have an idea of the monthly rent that you can afford based on your current income. And this is like current income without overtime, without picking up extra jobs, extra shifts. Like if you were limited to only 40 hours at your 9 to 5, can you afford this rent? And that's something that I had to take into consideration too, because I'm an OT girly. Okay, I love picking up extra hours, extra time. And so it took me a minute to realize, like, if my company decides to cut that off and force me to only work for my 40 hours, can I still afford my rent? And that's something you really have to take into consideration. So make sure you guys are being realistic with yourself. Also, of course, taxes, if you have a 401k, if you have money coming out for that, healthcare, all that kind of stuff, you want to subtract that as well. And like, what you have left over, can you afford this dollar amount of rent? I truly had to be realistic with myself, because I initially, like, as far as like the look of the apartment that I was going for initially, yeah, no. And you know, downtown skyrise apartment, looking over the city, looking over the highway, like I love that type of vibe, that city vibe. And yeah, they were asking for like 2,500, and I was like, okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like we're just not. So you want to be realistic with yourself and set your budget based on your income, along with make sure you're saving money. And again, 5 to 10K. You want to make sure your credit cards are paid off. Your credit cards will come in handy once you are settled into your apartment. You're going to be swiping that credit card a little bit more than you probably are right now if you have been using your credit card for emergencies only. But if you have credit cards, make sure they're paid off or close to being paid off. You don't want no high balances on your credit card. And then as soon as you move into your apartment, boom, like interest is hitting you, credit card bills are hitting you when you're trying to maintain rent and utilities and all the other things that come into moving into your apartment. Last thing you want to worry about is your credit card bills. So make sure those are in good standing, and then of course make sure your credit score is good. 650 or above is ideal. if your credit is lower than 650, you may have a harder time of getting into like a nice apartment with affordable rent. They may either up your rent or you would just be denied altogether. So you want to keep that in mind as well. You're making 3 times your monthly rent. These days, that's almost impossible. And most apartments I have found when I was searching didn't ask for 3 times the rent. They just asked for my credit score to at least be 650. But I did come prepared to pay or to show that I make 3 times the rent. They didn't ask. And a few places that I applied for didn't ask. So just something to keep in mind. Do some research, call around. It's getting hot. First of all, it's thunderstorming right now. I was taking a nap and that thunder little crackle thing woke me right up. Another thing that is super duper important when looking for your apartment and like prior to moving into your apartment is buying things prior to moving in. I would say honestly 3 to 6 months. My mom always told me to have a treasure chest and like put things in it, like a bucket of some sort, and put little things in it for your apartment months prior to. Now, did I do this? No, only because, well, actually there's a few things I did buy, yes, but I did not have a huge bin full. It's raining. But that was truly because I had a very small room and I had nowhere to put that bucket. So, you know, it wasn't really working for me. But my mom did give that advice and I want to share that with you guys. One last thing, like for instance, like these little knickknacks that I have, you know, these coasters, like little things like that. I wish I would have got way ahead of time. Therefore, once I got here, I didn't have to buy that. Like it's just one little thing. Even like cleaning supplies, that like necessities like toilet paper, paper towel, dish soap, you know, a bedroom set, like comforter set, sheets, towels, washcloths, stuff like that you're going to need regardless of the space that you're in. Definitely buy that stuff ahead of time so you don't have to worry about that when you move in. Like that's one less thing you have to worry about. Kind of goes along with that, and it's something that I did honestly years prior, but I kind of finalized it a couple months prior to me moving into my apartment, and that is finalizing my aesthetic, planning out my themes for each room of my house. So obviously I didn't know where I was going to live yet, but I knew like my room I want it to be black girl sunflower. I knew that my living room I want it to be coffee themed with a hint of either green and blue, or green or blue or both. I knew my dining room I really wanted like dark maroon, dark brown aesthetic, like very home cozy cabin vibes. I knew that my kitchen I wanted jade green. I just knew these things prior to moving, despite where I was going to be or the space or the layout. I just knew my color themes, so I was already adding decor into my Amazon cart well before I even moved or like signed my lease or even toured my apartment, because I knew the themes that I was looking for. Because it's exciting. Like this is your first apartment. You want it to be cozy. You want it to be for you. If you're having a roommate, that's a whole other thing. But like if you're moving by yourself, then girl, go all out. Make sure you make it for you. Don't let no one tell you, oh, that looks ugly there, or you shouldn't do that, or that color theme is that way, or this, whatever. Do you. Like when I told everyone I was getting white furniture, everyone was like, why? And it's like, I'm single, I don't have kids, I have nothing to worry about. Any mess that I make on this couch is my mess and it's for me to clean, and I can easily clean that. I don't have to worry about nothing else, you know? And then last but not least, you want to start searching for your apartment. Duh. Like you want to search, do some research. You want to look at Google reviews. You want to look at apartment.com reviews. Of course, you want to look at square footage. Now, with you doing all this, you want to have a pen and paper in your hand. You want to say, here's the apartment, here's the square footage, here's the price of this apartment, here's the amenities, and here's the location. Now, moving into the topic of location, you definitely want to get an apartment based on the location of your job. Because if you have a car and your car breaks down, you want to make sure that you can get to your job efficiently. Like you don't want to be paying $30 an Uber a day to get to your job, whether it's in walking distance or a cheaper Uber, like less than $10, or you can, you know, ride your bike if you have a bike, or like I said, like you're on like public transportation or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure you have that backup plan. Like if your car goes out, then you have a way to work. Unless you work from home, then of course you don't have to worry about that. But if you have to be at work, like physically at work in an office or wherever you work, you want to make sure you can get there if something happens with your car, because everyone knows, you know, once good things happen for you, there's going to be something bad that's going to happen to test your strength. So you want to be prepared for that. So like I said, make sure you list out your apartments that you're interested in. I would say do at least 3 apartments at a time. So have your 3 top apartments based on location, price, and the amenities and the square footage. That's important as well, because people be trying to give you a a 400 square foot apartment for like $1,300, and it's like, what am I paying for? You know, so you want to keep that in mind. List your negotiables and non-negotiables. Like for me, a negotiable was like, if you had a pool, great. If you had a workout room, great, but it's not, I'm not going to turn away a place just because they don't have that. Like, that's not a necessity. A non-negotiable for me was having a balcony. I really wanted a balcony. I wanted a space where I can be outside but be within my quarters, and I love that. Another non-negotiable for me personally was having a bigger bathroom, which I do have a huge bathroom, and having a dishwasher. I was not playing with those. I needed that. You need that. Gotta have that. I want that. Like, that was non-negotiable. And then just a good amount of closet space, which I got as well. So you just want to make sure you prioritize things that's best for you, not for the looks of, you know, the internet or to impress anyone else. Just making sure that you're comfortable and you have all your necessities. Your wants will come later in life, I promise you. So that is all. I guess I'll wait. Downstairs neighbor is leaving. I can like jump around, do a cartwheel or something. Whenever I see my downstairs neighbor leave, I take advantage. I start doing my dance videos and everything because like no one's down there to complain about me making noise. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I'm going to hurry up and end this before it becomes pitch black because I don't know why it's so dark in here. But that is all for today's video. If you guys want more apartment videos, like maybe tips for apartment hunting, like little things like that, how I budget, lists for grocery lists, necessities, items, little things like that, like how I did, please let me know in the comments. I won't do these things unless you guys let me know. But yeah, make sure you guys follow me on all my social media. Everything will be listed down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up, comment, do everything you have to do. Share with other friends that you know that is moving. I know a lot of you are moving into college dorms or college apartments as well, so this will be helpful for that too. Or you know, you already left college and maybe you went back home and now you're trying to find your way in the real world after graduating college, because that's always a hassle and a crazy transition. So if you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.